Staff Sergeant Claire Morgan watched through her scope as 12 SEAL operators fought for their lives against 50 enemy fighters in the dense jungle below. At 29 years old, with dark brown hair and sharp gray eyes, she was positioned 5 kilometers from the firefight, not authorized to engage. But listening to Lieutenant Commander Jason Hayes' desperate radio calls, hearing ammunition counts dropping and casualties mounting, Claire grabbed her SR-25 semi-automatic sniper rifle with 200 rounds and started moving toward the gunfire, knowing she was violating orders to save 12 lives. The jungle stretched endlessly in all directions, a sea of green punctuated by distant gunfire that had been echoing for 3 hours. Staff Sergeant Claire Morgan listened to radio transmissions from her elevated observation post on a ridgeline overlooking the operational area. The mission had started simply. A SEAL reconnaissance team, 12 operators led by Lieutenant Commander Jason Hayes, had inserted at dawn to locate and observe an enemy supply depot. Intelligence indicated the depot was a logistics hub, and the SEALs were supposed to gather information and withdraw without contact. But intelligence had been catastrophically wrong. At 1100 hours, Hayes reported locating the depot in a jungle clearing. His team was establishing observation when enemy forces sprung a prepared ambush. The SEALs found themselves taking fire from 3 directions, not 10 fighters as predicted, but 50 to 60 combatants who'd been expecting them. Claire listened to Hayes' initial contact report with professional detachment. Contact was always possible. The SEALs were trained and capable, but as the firefight dragged on, situation reports became grim. 3 SEALs wounded, ammunition low, enemy maneuvering for final assault. Extraction helicopter 45 minutes out, jungle canopy made landing zones scarce. The SEALs were trapped, outnumbered 5 to 1. Claire's official mission was observation and communication relay. Her job was to watch, report, relay, not engage or provide direct support. But listening to Hayes coordinate defense, hearing controlled desperation as he rationed ammunition and called for extraction that wouldn't arrive in time, Claire made a decision that would save lives or end her career. She keyed her radio. Overwatch to TOC, the SEAL element is heavily outnumbered and facing imminent danger. I'm moving to provide fire support. The response came sharp with alarm. Negative, Overwatch! You are not authorized for direct action. Maintain observation position. Air support is en route. TOC, air support is 45 minutes out. The SEAL element doesn't have 45 minutes. I can reach them in 30 and provide precision fire. I have SR-25 with 200 rounds. Overwatch, you are explicitly ordered to maintain position. Moving to engage violates mission parameters. Claire switched off command frequency. She'd heard the order. She chose to disobey it. There would be consequences, but those mattered less than 12 lives. She grabbed her SR-25 semi-automatic sniper rifle and confirmed her load. 10 20-round magazines of 7.62mm ammunition. The SR-25 wasn't standard. Most snipers preferred bolt-action platforms. But Claire had qualified on the SR-25 specifically for situations like this. The SR-25 combined sniper precision with semi-automatic capability. Unlike bolt action requiring manual cycling after each shot, the SR-25 fired as fast as she could pull the trigger while maintaining 800-meter accuracy. In target-rich environments, that capability was decisive. Claire began moving toward gunfire. The jungle was vegetation, uneven terrain, limited visibility. Triple canopy created twilight at ground level. Vines formed barriers. Ground was treacherous with roots. Moving 5 kilometers normally took 2 to 3 hours. Claire covered it in 30 minutes. She'd operated here 6 months and learned to read terrain. She knew animal trails supporting human movement. She knew streams providing approach routes. She knew ridgelines offering concealment and observation. This knowledge paid dividends as she moved toward intensifying combat sounds. M4 carbines cracked, the SEALs' weapons, punctuated by heavier AK-47s and sustained machine gun fire. Claire heard the difference in volume, SEALs fighting disciplined but overwhelmed by firepower. Within a kilometer, Claire looked for shooting position. She needed elevation to see over canopy, stable support for precision, concealment from observation. Clear fields of fire. She found it, a massive tree approximately 400 meters northwest of combat. The trunk was 3 meters diameter, lowest branches 15 meters up. Above offered multiple positions to 40 meters high. Claire climbed efficiently, securing rifle across back, using handholds, moving smoothly upward. At 40 feet, she found her perch. A substantial branch extended horizontally with smaller branches creating rifle rest. She positioned carefully, distributing weight to minimize fatigue. Through foliage breaks, she saw the battlefield. The clearing was 200 meters across, enemy supply depot structures on the western side. The SEAL team had defensive perimeter on eastern edge, using fallen trees for cover. Claire identified positions by muzzle flashes, 12 operators in roughly circular perimeter, 30 meters diameter. Enemy forces attacked from 3 directions, north, west, south, using jungle vegetation for approach while maintaining suppressive fire. Through her scope, Claire counted 45 to 50 fighters visible. The tactical situation was grim. SEALs surrounded on 3 sides, outnumbered 5 to 1, low on ammunition, wounded personnel unable to evacuate. Without intervention, the position would be overrun within 30 to 45 minutes. Claire keyed the SEAL frequency. Hayes, this is Reaper 6. I'm in elevated position 400 meters northwest with SR-25 and 200 rounds. I can provide precision fire support. How copy? Pause, 3 or 4 seconds, before Hayes' stressed voice. Reaper 6, Hayes. We're not authorized for sniper support in this AO. Are you supposed to be here? Negative. Operating on my own initiative. You need fire support, I can provide it. Your call, Commander. Another pause. Gunfire, crackled background. Reaper 6, we're outnumbered 5 to 1, 3 wounded, down to maybe 30 rounds per man. If you can help, we need it now. Roger, give me targets by priority. I'll start with command elements and heavy weapons. Copy, command element approximately 150 meters north of our position. Large tree with white bark, 4 or 5 enemy clustered, 1 directing assault with signals and radio. Claire scanned north. Through canopy breaks, she spotted the white bark tree. Near its base, enemy fighters gathered, clearly command conference. 4 individuals. 1 gestured toward SEAL position, another spoke into radio. 2 others sent runners with orders. Laser rangefinder, 425 meters, within SR-25 effective range. Semi-automatic capability meant engaging all 4 rapidly. Bolt action might eliminate 2 before survivors scattered. SR-25 allowed complete surprise engagement. She settled into shooting position, muscle memory from thousands of training hours, body weight distributed optimally, rifle supported by branch and forward hand, eye positioned behind scope, breathing controlled, trigger finger positioned correctly. Through her scope, the command element appeared with clarity. She could see uniforms, weapons, faces, real humans she was about to kill. That reality never disappeared. But Claire had made peace with it. These fighters actively tried killing 12 Americans, and she had capability to stop them. She placed crosshairs on the commander, gesturing and directing, controlled breath, steady trigger pressure. The rifle fired with sharp crack, suppressor reducing but not eliminating sound. Commander collapsed. She didn't confirm. SR-25 already chambered next round. She shifted to second fighter with radio. Fired. He went down. Third fighter turning, confused. Claire's third shot dropped him. Fourth fighter moving, starting to run. Claire's fourth shot caught him. 4 command personnel eliminated in less than 10 seconds. Other fighters looked around confused and panicked, unable to identify fire origin. Hayes, command element north neutralized, 4 down. What's next? Reaper 6, machine gun west suppressing us hard, approximately 200 meters behind large fallen log. We can't angle on it without exposing to direct fire. Claire shifted observation west, scanning systematically. Movement caught her eye. 2 fighters operating PKM machine gun, using fallen tree for cover while pouring fire into SEAL position. Range, 380 meters, partially concealed but sufficient target area. She fired twice rapidly, under 2 seconds between shots. Both gunners dropped. The PKM fell silent. West machine gun neutralized. Western perimeter has freedom of movement. Confirmed, Reaper 6. Difference is immediate. We can maneuver now. Over 20 minutes, Claire systematically engaged priority targets. Hayes identified threats, heavy weapons, massing fighters, assault coordinators, and Claire engaged with precise semi-automatic fire. Second machine gun southeastern approach. 2 fighters eliminated, PKM silenced, 6 enemy gathering in depression, preparing coordinated rush. Claire engaged as they emerged, eliminating 4 before survivors scattered. 3 fighters dangerously close, preparing grenades, 3 rapid shots, all down before throwing weapons. Enemy leader standing exposed, directing 10 fighters into assault positions. 1 shot, he collapsed. Assault group lost coordination. SR-25 semi-automatic proved decisive. Every engagement, Claire fired multiple aimed shots before enemy realized they were under fire. Bolt action would limit her to 1 or 2 targets. SR-25 allowed eliminating 3, 4, sometimes 5 rapidly. Elevated canopy position provided enormous advantage. Enemy couldn't identify her location. Shots came from unexpected direction and elevation. She had battlefield observation while remaining invisible. Elevation provided clear shots over ground-level vegetation. By first magazine, 20 rounds, she'd eliminated 16 to 17 fighters and silenced 3 heavy weapons. Enemy assault lost coordination and momentum. She reloaded tactically, smooth magazine exchange, under 3 seconds, muscle memory from training. Second magazine focused on breaking offensive capability. Every time fighters gathered planning attack, Claire engaged. Every time someone rallied others, she eliminated them. Every time enemy re-established heavy weapons, she engaged crew before they could fire. Psychological effect was devastating. Enemy had entered confident in numerical superiority and terrain knowledge. They'd trapped Americans and pressed toward victory. Now, taking steady casualties from unseen sniper shooting impossibly fast. Leadership systematically eliminated. Heavy weapons silenced. Every coordination attempt resulted in casualties. Confusion spread through enemy ranks. Claire observed through scope. Fighters looking around nervously, staying in cover longer, hesitating before moving. Confident, aggressive assault deteriorated into cautious defensive posture. Hayes, enemy fighters withdrawing on your northern flank. They're losing appetite for this. Confirmed, Reaper 6. Pressure decreased significantly. Your fire support completely changed this fight's dynamics. What's your extraction status? Helicopter now 15 minutes out. We have potential landing zone 100 meters east, but it's exposed during approach. Can you overwatch our displacement? Affirmative. Move when ready. I'll engage anyone pursuing or flanking. SEAL team began tactical withdrawal. Disciplined bounding overwatch where half moved while half provided covering fire, then reversed. Textbook tactics executed with precision from extensive training. Claire provided fire support throughout. When enemy fighters pursued, she engaged at 450 meters, dropping 3 and forcing others to cover. When another group flanked south, she eliminated 2 leaders, breaking the maneuver. By the time SEALs reached landing zone and established helicopter security, Claire had expended 73 rounds from 200 initial. She'd engaged 60 to 70 targets, achieving approximately 47 to 50 confirmed eliminations. Remaining enemy, perhaps 15 to 20 effective fighters, completely lost offensive initiative, no longer attempting coordinated attacks, staying in cover, maintaining defensive positions, no interest in pressing against a force receiving devastating precision fire from unseen sniper. Reaper 6 Hayes, extraction bird on final. We'll be wheels up in 3 minutes. Your exfiltration plan? I'll maintain overwatch until you're airborne, then displace and return to observation post. Sufficient ammunition remaining, clear route back. Copy. Reaper 6, my entire team would be dead without you. We were down to 20 rounds per man, 3 wounded we couldn't evacuate, enemy closing 3 sides. We'd accepted we were dying here. Then you started engaging and suddenly, instead of overwhelmed, we had fighting chance. From all 12, thank you. You saved our lives. Just doing what needed doing, Commander. Get your people home safe. Claire maintained position scanning battlefield as CH-47 Chinook descended. The twin rotor was vulnerable during landing. If enemy had anti-aircraft weapons or concentrated fire, they might bring it down. But enemy showed no inclination. Claire's fire support effectiveness apparently convinced them interfering meant more casualties they weren't willing to take. SEAL team boarded rapidly, wounded first, security elements, finally, Hayes last off landing zone. Chinook lifted, gained altitude, disappeared over canopy heading east toward friendly territory. Only then did Claire begin extraction. She descended carefully, secured rifle, checked surroundings for indication enemy might have identified her location. But jungle was quiet. Enemy apparently withdrew after SEAL extraction, no interest continuing. A fight turned decisively against them. Claire began 5-kilometer movement back, moving with careful efficiency. She monitored radio frequencies listening for enemy activity or pursuit, but airways were quiet. Reality of what she'd done settled as adrenaline faded. She'd directly disobeyed orders, abandoned assigned mission, conducted unauthorized fire support, engaged outside approved rules, serious violations potentially resulting in anything from reprimand to court-martial. But she'd saved 12 American lives. 12 operators who'd have been killed or captured were safely extracted and en route friendly territory. That outcome, regardless of rule violations achieving it, was something Claire accepted without regret. 3 days later, Staff Sergeant Claire Morgan stood at attention in Colonel James Martinez's office. Martinez commanded the Special Operations Task Force with reputation as demanding but fair officer who'd spent 20 years in special operations before assuming command. Staff Sergeant Morgan, Martinez said, expression neutral reviewing documents, I've been reading after action reports from SEAL Team Extraction 3 days ago. Lieutenant Commander Hayes submitted detailed account of what he calls unauthorized but absolutely critical fire support, preventing his team from being overrun. He's also provided remarkable statistics. Yes, sir. According to reports, you were assigned observation and communications relay at Overwatch 3. Mission orders were explicit. Maintain observation, provide relay, report enemy activity. Orders did not include engaging enemy, conducting fire support, or moving from assigned position, correct? Yes, sir. Mission orders were observation and relay only. Yet when you monitored SEAL contact with enemy forces, you decided to abandon position, move 5 kilometers through hostile territory, and conduct solo precision fire support against 50-plus fighters. Also correct? Yes, sir. When I heard SEAL situation reports and realized they faced imminent danger with no support available in time, I decided to move where I could provide fire support. You made that decision after being explicitly ordered by Tactical Operations Center to maintain position and not engage. Yes, sir. I received that order and chose to disobey. Martinez leaned back, studying her analytically. Staff Sergeant, what you did represents serious violations, disobeying direct orders, abandoning assigned mission, engaging outside authorized rules, operating independently without coordination. These aren't minor issues, fundamental violations of chain of command and operational discipline. I understand, sir. If I pursue this officially, you could face court-martial. Charges would be serious, potential reduction in rank, forfeiture of pay, confinement, dishonorable discharge. Understand that? Yes, sir. I accept responsibility for my actions, and I'm prepared to face whatever consequences you determine appropriate. Martinez nodded slowly. Now that we've established regulations, let me tell you reality. He opened a file, pulling out documents. Lieutenant Commander Hayes recommended you for Silver Star. His recommendation includes statements from all 12 team members. Every operator submitted written testimony supporting it. They're unanimous, stating without your intervention, their team would have been overrun and killed or captured. He laid out more documents. Hayes's tactical report indicates you engaged 60 to 70 fighters over 35 minutes, achieving 47 to 50 confirmed eliminations. You systematically eliminated command elements, silenced 3 heavy weapons, broke multiple assaults, and provided such effective support that 5-to-1 enemy advantage lost all offensive capability. Hayes specifically notes SR-25 semi-automatic was crucial. Rate of fire allowed engaging multiple targets rapidly, preventing enemy from massing for assault. He states, quote, "Staff Sergeant Morgan's actions represent the most effective individual fire support I've witnessed in 15 years combat operations." Martinez closed folder looking directly at Claire. "So here's my dilemma, Staff Sergeant. By regulations, you deserve court-martial for multiple violations. But by reasonable tactical assessment, you made exactly right decision. You recognized following orders meant allowing 12 Americans to die when you had capability to save them. You prioritized mission success, defined as bringing Americans home alive, over procedural compliance. You executed with exceptional skill and effectiveness." "Sir, Martinez held up hand. "Let me finish. I've been in special operations over 20 years. I've commanded at every level from team leader to task force. What separates truly exceptional operators from merely competent ones isn't shooting skills or physical conditioning or tactical knowledge. It's judgment, ability to recognize when situation changed from what was planned, when original orders no longer match reality, when initiative matters more than obedience. That judgment is something we try teaching, but really it's something people either have or don't." He stood walking to window, overlooking base. "You displayed that judgment. You assessed situation, recognized approved plan was inadequate, and made command decision to take action violating orders but saving lives. That's what we need operators able to do in special operations. Make those hard calls when there's no time for permission and stakes are lives." Martinez turned back. "So here's what I'm doing. I'll note in your record that you operated outside mission parameters during SEAL extraction. That notation remains in your file. However, I'm also noting your independent action directly resulted in successful extraction of 12 personnel who'd otherwise been casualties. I'm approving Hayes's Silver Star recommendation, and I'm reassigning you from general observation to permanent direct action support for SEAL operations." Claire felt surprise break through professional composure. "Sir?" SR-25 proved exactly right weapon for that engagement. Semi-automatic precision, allowing rapid multiple target engagement in target-rich environment. You demonstrated employment techniques and effectiveness most snipers don't understand. I want you working directly with SEAL teams as dedicated precision fire support and training other snipers in semi-automatic employment. Your judgment and skills are too valuable for observation duty." "Sir, I want to be clear. I don't regret violating orders. If similar situation arose, I'd make same decision." Martinez smiled slightly. "I know. That's exactly why I'm making this assignment. Special operations needs people understanding that following orders and accomplishing mission are usually same thing, but not always. We need operators recognizing those rare situations where orders are wrong and something more important is at stake. You've proven you have that judgment. Now I need you using it where it matters most." 2 weeks later, Claire Morgan was officially reassigned to direct SEAL team support. Her role, when teams conducted operations where they might face superior numbers or difficult situations, she'd accompany or establish overwatch, providing precision fire changing tactical balance. SR-25 became her signature weapon. While most snipers preferred bolt-action rifles, Claire became the service's leading advocate for semi-automatic sniper employment. She developed tactics, techniques, procedures for using SR-25's rapid-fire capability to dominate target-rich environments, situations where enemy numerical advantage could be defeated through systematic key target elimination. Over 6 months, Claire supported 8 SEAL operations in jungle terrain. Each reinforced tactical lessons from her first engagement. On one mission, where 8 operators encountered 40 fighters, Claire provided overwatch from elevated position 500 meters away. She engaged 27 fighters in 12 minutes sustained precision fire, breaking enemy assault before it developed and allowing SEALs to withdraw with 0 casualties. During headquarters raid, SEALs took fire from multiple buildings as larger than estimated enemy reaction force responded. Claire, positioned 600 meters away on elevated terrain, systematically engaged fighters visible through windows and firing positions. 31 enemies eliminated in 8 minutes, allowing SEALs to complete mission and extract. When SEAL observation post was discovered triggering response bringing 50 fighters, Claire's precision fire eliminated enemy leadership and heavy weapons. Her engagement broke assault before sustained fight developed. Enemy withdrew after taking 19 casualties. Enemy forces in the region began calling her the ghost who shoots thunder, reference to shots from positions they couldn't identify, and semi-automatic fire so rapid it sounded like multiple snipers. 1 year after the engagement establishing her reputation, Claire conducted training for snipers assigned to Special Operations Support. The class included 40 students from various services, all experienced snipers selected for advanced training. First day, a student asked the question clearly on everyone's mind. Staff Sergeant, everyone in sniper community heard the story about saving that SEAL team. Numbers seem impossible, 50 enemies in 35 minutes by one shooter. How'd you do that? Claire had answered variations many times, never giving same answer twice. Each audience needed different lesson aspects. For these experienced snipers, she focused on fundamental tactical principles. Numbers aren't impossible if you understand what actually happened, she began. I didn't engage 50 fighters in direct combat. I provided precision fire from position of overwhelming tactical advantage against enemy force that couldn't locate me, couldn't return effective fire, and couldn't coordinate because I systematically eliminated anyone providing leadership. She pulled up jungle terrain imagery on screen. Jungle environment was crucial. Thick vegetation limited enemy ability to mass or coordinate. Canopy blocked observation, making identifying my elevated position nearly impossible. Acoustic properties made pinpointing fire source extremely difficult. I had advantages of position, elevation, observation, surprise making engagement much less one-sided than numbers suggest. A student asked, "But Staff Sergeant, you used SR-25. Most of us were taught bolt-action rifles are superior for precision. Why choose semi-automatic?" "That's most important tactical lesson," Claire said. SR-25 was absolutely crucial. In that target-rich environment, engaging multiple targets rapidly without coming off target to work bolt was decisive. With bolt action, I might have engaged 20 or 30 targets same period. That wouldn't have been enough. SEAL team would have been overrun while I worked my bolt. Semi-automatic capability allowed engaging a tempo-matching tactical situation. She advanced, showing bolt action versus semi-automatic engagement time comparison. Here's the math. Bolt action, even highly skilled shooter needs 2 to 3 seconds between shots. Time required to work bolt, reacquire target, fire again. With SR-25, my time between shots was under 1 second, just time to shift aim and press trigger. Over 35 minutes, that fire rate difference translated to eliminating 3 times as many targets. Another student raised hand. "Staff Sergeant, story is you violated direct orders to conduct that mission. How do you decide to disobey orders? What if you're wrong?" Claire expected this question, hardest part of teaching judgment to young operators. "That's most difficult special operations aspect," she said carefully. "Most times, following orders and accomplishing mission are same thing. Chain of command exists for good reasons. Most situations better handled through coordination than individual initiative. But there are rare situations where orders don't match reality, where following procedures means failure or casualties when action might prevent that." She paused, choosing words carefully. "When I heard those operators reporting their situation, outnumbered 5 to 1, running out of ammunition, wounded personnel, no support available in time, I had to make judgment call. If I followed orders staying in observation position, 12 Americans would almost certainly die. If I moved providing fire support, I might save them, but I'd definitely violate orders and potentially face court-martial." When you frame choice that way, career consequences versus American lives, it's not actually difficult decision. "But how do you know you were making right call?" the student persisted. "What if situation wasn't as bad? What if support was coming? What if you made things worse?" "You don't know for certain," Claire admitted. "You make best assessment with available information, then accept responsibility for outcome. In that situation, I assessed SEAL team was in immediate danger of being overrun. No support would arrive in time through official channels, and I had specific capability to help. Assessment turned out correct, but if it had been wrong, I'd still be responsible for consequences. She looked around at 40 experienced snipers, most with multiple deployments. Here's what I want you understanding. Initiative is valuable, but it's not same as disobedience. Initiative means recognizing when situation changed and adapting while staying aligned with commander's intent. Disobedience means substituting your judgment for commanders when you shouldn't. Difference is subtle but crucial. That jungle situation, commander's intent, was supporting special operations missions. My assigned task was observation, but actual mission need was fire support. I stayed aligned with intent while changing approach to match reality. A Marine in back spoke up. Staff Sergeant, with respect, that sounds like rationalizing disobedience after fact. You were explicitly ordered to maintain position and not engage. You disobeyed that direct order. How's that not insubordination? Claire nodded, appreciating the challenge. You're right, I disobeyed direct order. I'm not pretending otherwise. Tactical Operations Center told me explicitly stay in position. I chose not to. That was insubordination by technical definition. But here's distinction. I didn't disobey because I thought I knew better than commanders in general sense. I disobeyed because I had information they didn't. I was monitoring SEAL situation real time, knew exactly how desperate circumstances were, and knew I had specific capability to help immediately while official support was 45 minutes away. She showed engagement timeline. Look at timing. SEAL team had been in contact 3 hours when I decided. They'd reported being down to 30 rounds per man with 3 wounded and enemy massing for final assault. Extraction 45 minutes out. Math was simple. They didn't have 45 minutes. Someone needed acting immediately, and I was only person in position to do so. The discussion continued another hour. Claire fielding questions about tactical decision-making, rules of engagement, risk assessment, command relationships. These officers grappled with questions they'd faced throughout careers, balancing initiative and discipline, empowering subordinates while maintaining control, creating organizations both effective and disciplined. 6 months later, Claire was promoted to Sergeant First Class and assigned Senior Sniper Instructor for Special Operations Forces. She revolutionized how military employed semi-automatic sniper rifles, demonstrating through combat results and testing that semi-automatic platforms offered decisive advantages in target-rich environments. Her doctrine emphasized matching weapon to situation, long-range interdiction against single high-value targets, bolt action optimized for extreme accuracy, direct action support in close to medium range with multiple targets, semi-automatic optimized for rapid engagement. Each tool had its place. Effective operators needed understanding when to employ each. Training programs she developed became standard for special operations sniper support. Every sniper assigned to SEAL teams, Army Special Forces, or other direct action elements went through her course, learning not just shooting, but tactical judgment, how to read battlefield, prioritize targets, provide fire support, changing tactical dynamics rather than just adding firepower. 1 year after promotion, the Silver Star ceremony finally occurred. Medal had been approved months earlier, but coordinating with Hayes and his team took time due to deployments. Ceremony was held at Special Operations Compound, attended by perhaps 100 personnel, including senior commanders, Hayes and his 12-man team, and many snipers Claire had trained. As citation was read, carefully worded, emphasizing her exceptional precision fire support in combat operations, without explicitly detailing she'd violated orders, Claire stood at attention, aware this moment represented strange contradiction. Being recognized for valor while having notation in record documenting, she'd operated outside mission parameters. Success and violation intertwined inseparably. After medal was pinned, Hayes approached with his team carrying something, a wooden plaque, hand-carved with remarkable skill. "Sergeant First Class Morgan," Hayes said formally, then expression shifted more personal. "Claire, my team wanted giving you something representing what your actions meant beyond official recognition." He handed her the plaque. It featured detailed carving of SR-25 rifle surrounded by jungle vegetation. Beneath it, simple inscription, "To the ghost who shoots thunder. 12 lives saved by one shooter who refused to let protocol outweigh conscience. With eternal gratitude, SEAL Team 7. Sir, I don't know what to say. You don't need saying anything, Hayes replied. We wanted you having something reminding you what you did. Official medal is important, goes in service record, documents valor for institution. But this is from us to you, soldier to soldier, saying we know what you risked for people you'd never met. Senior Chief Mike Torres stepped forward. Ma'am, we've talked about that day many times this year. We've analyzed what happened tactically and strategically. We keep returning to one truth. We were dead. Math of that situation was clear. Outnumbered 5-1, almost out of ammunition, wounded we couldn't evacuate, enemy closing 3 directions. We'd fought well, but fighting well doesn't matter when enemy has you surrounded and you're out of bullets. Another SEAL added, Then you started engaging, and it was like someone rewrote tactical situation. Suddenly, enemy couldn't coordinate because you eliminated anyone organizing them. Their heavy weapons went silent. Their assault elements started taking casualties faster than they could press forward. Within 15 minutes, we went from preparing last stand to actually having survival chance. What you did wasn't just impressive shooting, though that SR-25 work was best sniper support any of us ever saw, Torres continued. What mattered was you recognized we needed help and you acted. You didn't wait for approval or permission. You didn't worry whether helping was officially authorized. You heard brothers in danger, and you moved. That makes you one of us, regardless what service or unit you're assigned. Staff Sergeant Claire Morgan had violated orders, abandoned her mission, and conducted unauthorized solo fire support against 50 enemy fighters to save 12 SEAL operators from being overrun. The SEALs went home. Claire received a Silver Star and career teaching the next generation not just how to shoot, but how to make difficult judgment calls separating competent soldiers from exceptional warriors. Because sometimes the difference between following orders and doing what's right is a choice, defining not just careers, but lives saved and lessons changing how entire organizations think about courage, judgment, and what it means to refuse letting good people die when you have power to save them. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to hear more powerful stories of brave women in uniform.